How do I stay in the present moment when it feels unbearable? Because in Plum Village, we always say that let us not get caught in the past and the future. Let us go back to the present moment. And this is a question about that. How can I stay in the present moment when the present moment feels unbearable? That's a good question. Anyone who knows the practice of mindfulness knows that you have to go home to the present moment. When you go home to the present moment, you can find two kinds of situations. The first kind of situation is there are so many conditions of happiness available in the here and the now. When you breathe in and bring your mind home to your body, you are established in the present moment. And you notice there are so many refreshing and healing elements available in the present moment. There's also many conditions of happiness available in the present moment. And with that awareness, to generate a feeling of joy and happiness is very easy. That you can do in order to nourish yourself. To nourish yourself with joy and happiness. So that is the first thing you encounter when you go back to the present moment. The second situation is that when you go back to the present moment, you might encounter a feeling of pain, a feeling of a painful emotion that is in you. In fact, a painful feeling, a painful emotion manifests from time to time. But when it begins to manifest, we don't like to be there, so we try to run away, pretending that it is not there. So no one is there in order to take care of the painful feeling, the painful emotion. So going back to the present moment here is no longer to recognize the elements of joy and happiness, but to have a chance to take care of the pain in ourselves and to transform it. So even if the present moment is unbearable, to go back to that moment is the only chance for us to do something in order to calm it down and to transform it. Most of people don't do that because they are afraid that when they come home to themselves and touch the pain inside, they will be overwhelmed by the suffering. And that is why the practice is to run away. Imagine something about the future to forget. Go back to the past to forget. But the past and the future, they are like images, not reality. Only the present moment is real. Many people try to cover up the pain inside. Not only by going back to the past or running to the future, imagine that there will be some hope, some end of suffering in the future, but that cannot last long. And most people try to cover up the suffering inside by the practice of consumption. We read magazines, we watch television, we find something to eat, we listen to the music, we pick up the phone to talk. Everything we do because we hope that by doing these things we don't have to confront the suffering in us. And we allow that pain to continue to grow in us. So the practice of mindfulness helps us to go home to the present moment. Even the moment is not pleasant, but it is in that very moment that we can understand the suffering and that we can find a way in order to calm it down and to transform it. So next time when you find the present moment not pleasant, don't think that running away from it is the best way. No, it may be a chance. So stay in that moment, look deeply into the nature of your suffering. If you know how to practice mindful breathing or mindful walking, generating the energy of mindfulness, and then that energy of mindfulness generated by the practice help you to be strong enough to recognize, encounter the pain, and embrace it tenderly. And embracing your pain tenderly, in a few minutes you can calm it down. And if there are other practitioners practicing with you, and then you can profit from the energy of mindfulness and compassion. Getting in touch with the suffering bring about understanding of suffering and the energy of compassion. Understanding and compassion have the power to heal you and to heal the people who happen to be around you at that time. And if there is a group of people practicing together, embracing the suffering with tenderness, they will experience that collective energy of compassion that heal them. And when they suffer less, they are in a situation to help other people to do the same. There is a bodhisattva whose name is Kshitigarbha. The vow of Kshitigarbha is to go to the places where there's a lot of suffering in order to have a chance to serve, to help. And there are many doctors, nurses, social workers, they are doing the same. They volunteer to go to painful spots of our earth, of Mother Earth, in order to help the people. So Bodhisattva Kshitigarbha, they are real, they are not just images. Many young people are serving as Bodhisattva Kshitigarbha. They are not afraid of suffering because they know that they can bring relief. And Bodhisattva Kshitigarbha has a strong, powerful source of energy that is the aspiration, the third kind of nutriment, volition. You know you are there alive, and you want to do something with your life. You want your life to be useful, meaningful. So you make a strong vow to go to help people who suffer. So you are not afraid of going to the situation of suffering. And these bodhisattvas, they should be supported by us. We want to support them so that they will not lose their aspiration after a few years of service. We have to send them our energy of encouragement. They need nourishment and healing. So after 6 months, 1 year working in very difficult situation, they go home and they have us taking care of them, trying to help them to heal, so that they will go out again the second time and the third time. Bodhisattva Kshitigarbha need help also. So we are there to help young Kshitigarbhas to continue their work in the world. So if you have compassion, you don't mind being in a difficult, suffering situation. And if you have enough compassion, and then you are protected, you will not be overwhelmed by the collective energy of suffering emitted by the people around. And Bodhisattva Kshitigarbha knows that he needs a sangha, in order to continue for a long time. So the practice should not only be individual. The practice should be collective also. So let us try to convince people in our family to join the practice. And the best way to do it is to become more and more pleasant every day, more smiling, more sweeter. And then they will believe that the practice will work for them also. So when your family, your community enjoy more harmony, health, brotherhood, sisterhood, and then your aspiration can be more easily realized. Without a sangha, without a group of people, our dream cannot come true. So not only we try as a person, but we know that operating as a group of people, as a sangha, is always much better.